上这个鼓，帐篷马上上来。这儿。这边，这。有人吗？
那个区长没有走。
这是帐篷弄过来了。那个人看见了。
你这儿看这个地方，你录着像了吗？
没有。
我给大家提示一下啊，这个涉及到国际形势了，这个外国人一进来，你们的任何视频不要发了啊，这个挺危险的。我牵着着。哎呀，中国的记者对你们这点玩意儿，我提示一下，对你们影响不好啊。
我们都不要影响。
他是干嘛的？
他是政府的，区里的。
在这儿，他哪儿去啊？在这儿。
威胁呢是吧？这属于这属于是威胁呢。
In the northern Chinese city of Shijiazhuang, a massive apartment complex lies unfinished behind a fence. For the industrial city's 11 million residents, it's a daily reminder of the collapse of China's once largest developer, Evergrande. Construction on the Central Plaza project promised 1,800 new homes, but the project stalled in 2021 after China Evergrande Group defaulted. This 38-year-old resident, who declined to give his name, paid more than $350,000 for 2 units.
In the winter of 2017, I spent 2.5 million yuan buying 2 apartments. The project was intermittently halted in 2020 due to issues with resettlement housing and debt, leading to a complete stop after Evergrande's financial troubles became public at the end of 2021. The total sales volume of this project was around 2 billion yuan, probably affecting over 1,000 homes, although I don't have the exact figure. As of now, the main contractor has pulled out, and the project's progress is painfully slow. Despite the government's attempts to push forward, the effects have been barely noticeable, and we seem to have no other way to resolve this issue.
A government notice on the site says the project is now seeking a new developer, but that doesn't help buyers, who paid in full 2 years ago and are now waiting for a lifeline. At the end of January, a Hong Kong court ordered Evergrande to be liquidated, but the process could take years. Evergrande said the company would work to finish ongoing projects despite the order. Meanwhile, China has said that the completion of unfinished homes is a policy priority. But the anonymous buyer says he's now lost faith in the company's management capabilities and will never invest in China again. Investment bank Nomura estimates there are around 20 million unfinished housing units across China left by Evergrande and other failed developers. Their report estimates the funding gap for completing these projects stands at around $446 billion. State-owned developers and local governments have recently taken over some stalled projects under a government-run policy in recent months, according to official announcements and media reports. China has not disclosed how much funding has been provided to complete those stranded developments, or the number of projects authorities have taken on. Reuters could not verify the total number of unfinished Evergrande projects in Shijiazhuang. Evergrande did not reply to a request for comment.
Well, I made this draft to introduce what happened to Evergrande and what happened to the people who buy the house from Evergrande and what they are suffering now to support their brave behaviors today. After China Evergrande Group went into liquidation, Reuters journalists visited two unfinished Evergrande projects in石家庄, Hebei. The Evergrande Central Plaza, a mixed-use commercial and residential complex in the city center, and Evergrande Times New City, a large residential development in Yuanshi County. While Evergrande disclosed debits of around 2 trillion yuan, this figure likely excluded numerous unfinished projects across China, where home buyers had fully paid for properties that were never delivered. These projects often have complex ownership structures, with Evergrande subsidiaries, joint ventures, and partner companies involved. However, buyers purchased them under the trusted underground brand. In石家庄, a city known for its political discipline as the moat of Beijing, Evergrande's failure left many homeowners in financial ruin. At Evergrande Central Plaza, a commercial and service apartment complex, some buyers were sued by banks for failing to repay mortgages, leading to asset seizures, bankruptcy, and blacklisting in China's credit system. The project, launched in 2017 and scheduled for delivery in 2022, had already stalled a year before Evergrande's financial crisis. After Evergrande's collapse, local partners legally stripped it of ownership, meaning the project likely no longer appears on Evergrande's balance sheet, an approach seen in many other cities. China's housing pre-sale system and fund regulation were supposed to protect buyers. Developers must obtain 5 approvals before selling homes, and all payments, including mortgages, are held in supervised account managed by the developer, local bank, and the housing authority. Funds are released in stages based on construction progress, ensuring timely completion. However, when Evergrande Central Plaza buyers checked the supervised account, only 1 million yuan remained, far short of the estimated 1.6 billion yuan required at the stage. The money had vanished, leaving unfinished concrete structures and steel reinforcements exposed. With Evergrande bankrupt, key questions remain. Where did the money go? Who will complete construction? Are contractors still valid? Can buyers cancel their mortgages? The answer is no. In China, mortgages are lifelong obligations, and the house is merely collateral. If the house is undelivered, buyers still owe the full debt but lose their collateral. As a result, some owners, unable to pay, faced asset seizures and bankruptcy, forcing them to live in tents at the abandoned site. That is what's happened today in the center of our city. Our brave and bankruptcy house owners climb onto the concrete building and set their tents. Although surrounded by the government officers and police, they stand in their home. Over the years, local government actions made things worse. Initially, the project was delayed for 2 years due to disputes over unpaid compensation to relocated residents. During the pandemic, construction was further halted. After Evergrande collapsed, local authorities forced remove its stake, reassigned contractors, and staged progress. So the progress is very slow, with minimal construction. In 3 years, only 3 months' worth of work was completed due to a lack of funds. So they sometimes have more than around 10 workers on the site, and sometimes no one was there. But according to the government, they say everything's undergoing, they're pushing everything forward, and the construction is undergoing. The contractor is doing their best effort to continue the building. But we see the progress is quite slow. In 3 years, we struggled to find resources, to find our money, but we have no way to get that. Despite homeowners' protests, the site is considered under active construction. That is what they say, what's the achievement of the government. With police heavily guarding it whenever buyers demand action. So we are always welcomed by the well-equipped SWAT, special weapon and technique, like the weaponed policemen in Los Angeles in the movies. When we discussed to protest for our rights, they always have the information waiting for us before we arrived, and they will call each member of the discussion group because they know everything. They have handled all the information about you. They contact you, they call you, and they threaten you. They're afraid of you if you go to Beijing, go to Tiananmen or somewhere to protest. But we don't want. We have family, we have work, we have our life. If the government is doing everything legally, how could we protest illegally? Meanwhile, 20 billion yuan in supervised funds disappeared. So whose duty is that? Did the government fulfill its duty and ensure the money was used for construction? Obviously not. They even can't say where the money goes. A similar case happened in another province close to Hebei, where depositors lost money after a state-owned bank was robbed. So that's not a robbery with the guns or a knife. It's shareholders. It's basically a financial cheat, maybe. The bank simply told the depositors, your money is gone, and we've reported it to the police, but you won't get it back until the police get the money back. So the thieves are disappeared, or maybe died or something, or they went abroad. The money was never recovered, and the bank continued operating as usual. How about the depositors? They tried to protest, and they were beaten heavily and thrown into prison, and they were left with nothing. So that is what's happening in a wide range. I think there are maybe millions of families around China are suffering from this condition, but they have no chance to make their voice, and they are struggling to pay their mortgage, and they are struggling to earn back the money they lost. We have a strategy in our government to solve this kind of problem, that is, keep harmony. So they can't find who is obliged to solve the problem, who is guilty in this case. They can't find the money, and they can't punish the robbers, but they can see who is asking for their rights and who is protesting. So once for all, they have the same task force to solve the protesters. No matter what question they have, no matter what issues they are raising, they just solve the protesters. That strategy is very effective and worthy, because you can pay one salary for a group of people to solve all the problems in your city or in your country. I'm not sure this video can lead to any influence, but at least I can publish it here since I am abroad.